You can do this from your house. You don't have to go to a class every night. You don't. I mean, God bless UCSD and San Diego State and City College and all the other great learning institutions here in San Diego, and Mesa College and the like. Grossmont College. I don't leave anybody out because I'll get emails. But you can do this from home. You can find professional services that'll teach you and create this workplace learning sort of trajectory without having to go very far. It's not cost prohibitive either, correct?
No, and I like that. You know, if somebody tells me I took the initiative to train myself, the light bulb goes off for me. I get really excited because that tells me they're a go-getter and they're not going to sit at their desk and just, you know, keep their blinders on and not try to do anything outside the box. So I really like people that do that. But I think that companies have to take initiative and provide offerings, whether it be, you know, a workshop that you send a really great employee to, like a weekend thing or whatever. But, you know, have those things available. But yes, you do have to take some initiative.
What about the workplace training thing? Because there's got to be more of it. I mean, I know for a fact here when people come and work in the radio studio or the TV studio, and they walk in as a promotions person, because that's sort of where you start in media, frankly. I mean, I got super lucky 25 years ago. I happened to be a guest on the air, and the next thing you know, I was on the air. But most folks in radio and television work in promotions or something sort of away from the microphone of the TV camera at first. And as they get through, you learn how to do things like work a mixing board. You learn how to edit. And those are valuable tools. I'm saying, you know, for me, that's money in the bank. If you're offered workplace training, take it. Because you're getting free stuff that you may or may not use where you're at forever, right? I mean, those are valuable skills that get to go on that resume again, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
And the piece of that that sort of, I guess the obvious next question is to talk about millennials. Millennials, everything I know, and when I do keynotes about the biggest wealth shift in the history of this country, the fact that 75% of our employees and 75% of our customers are going to be millennial in the next 6 years. That increases the demand for workplace training for old horses like me, and you know, there's a generational outlook you have to figure out. There was a thing called being put out to pasture back in the 50s and the 60s, and now it's happening again because, let's face it, you're going to get put out to pasture if you don't have these type of skills. You know, your son, I know, knows more about iPhones and computers than you will ever know.
Sure.
My daughters are the same way. That's the same in the word. That's a lesson we learned there, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. And I can give you a really good example. I was speaking with, he's a general manager of a company out east, and he's looking to make a change because unfortunately the company probably isn't going to exist in the next year. And he's got a great resume.
It's a film developing company?
Yeah.
Or a newspaper?
Yeah, there you go.
But so you say looking to make a change. What is he doing?
Well, right now he's more of a general manager, but he has experience in supply chain, e-commerce, IT. So
those are all marketable skills.
And that's what I said. That's fantastic. So his main concern was his age. He goes, should I take all the dates off of the resume? And I said, no, that's an automatic. I know you're older, so don't do that. I said, but let's talk about your strengths and what you have to offer. I said, probably part of the reason, and you just touched on it, that when you get older, you tend to get put out to pasture, is you aren't keeping up with technology and those skills that the younger generations have. So if you keep up with that and you continue to improve, you'll have a much better option when you're faced with a situation of whether you got laid off or whether your company's shutting down. You have more options and you're more marketable.
There was a study that came out that I talked about on the San Diego Morning News just 2 weeks ago about how people are working into their 70s in droves, and what that is doing is there's a two-sided approach. You're competing with millennials. At the same time, though, corporations know that you have a better work ethic overall. I mean, that's just historically, the survey says better work ethic, doesn't take time off, doesn't call in sick, barely takes vacation.
Yeah.
And that's the trade-off. And it's not because, I think it's just a matter of youth versus, age and treachery beats youth and inexperience every time. I think that's what that is, but I think it's something to pay attention to. Tell your intern story before we get out of here.
So I'm lucky enough to be really busy, and I thought it would be a great time to bring on a paid intern here in San Diego. It does need to be local.
Paid intern?
Paid intern,
in a seasoned executive search business under the wing and watchful eye of Suzanne Creekall. So you're still looking?
I'm still looking.
What will this person do?
I need actually somebody to constantly fill the pipeline. So I need them to utilize LinkedIn, update my database, have the confidence to call a stranger and have a conversation.
Say, hey, look at okay, so you need someone that is not only an intern that's going to learn the business, but also has a personality that they can act sort of as a marketing wing, as well as an administrative wing, right?
Yes, they're the conduit to get those people to me so that I can spend more time, filling those roles. Okay. And so that's what I'm looking for. And it's been a really good experience, but I did notice right away there's still those people that, they ghost you. They don't show up for the interview when you set one. They, their resume is so full of typos. Like, can we talk about a period at the end of the sentence? That's pretty standard.
How do they get a hold of you if they want to do this? And you know what? You heard the first part of the interview. You should know better.
You should know better.
No typos. Make sure to address Suzanne. How do they get a hold of you? Just by going to the website?
Yeah, go to the website. You can reach, send an email through there. There's on the contact page. Would love to talk to you.
SeasonedSearch.com. If you get somebody from this program, we're going to interview them and you.
Oh,
Suzanne, it is always great to have you. Suzanne Cretal. Seasoned Search. SeasonedSearch.com. It is San Diego Business Saturday. News Radio 600 Kogo.
Hey, man. What do you think the teacher's going to look like this year?
Transform your outdated kitchen in 3 days with Reborn Cabinets. RebornCabinets.com.
Traffic in San Diego is getting so bad, we're recruiting eyes.
So the eyes have it.
When you see a problem on the road, dial pound 250 and say Kogo Traffic. All eye colors accepted. News Radio 600 Kogo.
My wife Melissa and I are spending the weekend in the country, about an hour north of the city. Around 9 p.m. on Saturday, Melissa, who is 8.5 months pregnant, says, "It's time." Jeez Louise, I have never moved so fast in my life. So we race back into the city, and the baby arrives later that night. A happy, healthy boy. I spend the next 2 days at the hospital, and on Monday I remember, we need money. Walking into the nearest First Republic office, I realized I left my wallet up in the country. I've got no ID. What am I going to do? So I get on my cell phone and I call my personal banker downtown. She faxes my signature card to the First Republic office I'm walking to and has everything ready when I walk in the door. Maybe 4 minutes later. All I have to do is sign a draw slip. What other bank in the world could do something like this? At my old bank, I'd still be pressing the pound key for other options.
Personal banking, business banking, private wealth management. At First Republic, it's a privilege to serve you. Member FDIC.
News Radio 600 Kogo, San Diego Business Weekend is on the air. I'm Sully. Great to have you along today. Russ Nails joining me in studio this week. Russ was big in the 80s. Now I'm big. And he's 80. Russ has been sober for 70 days. Just not in a row.
Oh, that's totally for my life now.
Next week on the program, Christina Gustin will be joining us. Also, Patrick DeHaan of GasBuddy.com. And a captain of industry in the bicycle industry is going to be joining us here. Because remember, I just rode my bicycle with the mayor, Kevin Faulkner, and the chief of police retired, Shelley Zimmerman, from San Francisco to San Diego. Yeah, bicycle, not motorcycle, for the Challenged Athletes Foundation. In fact, we should get blenders involved in that. There you go. You could have
everyone needs shades on a bike, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you.
Chase, this new line, the Encanto.
The Encanto. Chase Fisher is the founder and CEO of Blenders Eyewear. Born and raised right here in San Diego. At least the brand was. Where were you raised?
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara. And what brought you down to San Diego?
School.
The 5? SDSU?
Yeah.
SDSU, UCSD, USD?
SDSU.
Okay.
SDSU, and so I used to come down to San Diego for surf contests in high school, and I just fell in love with it. So.
Yeah, sure. So it was interesting. So it was a great story in the UT about your company and about how it was founded and the fact of the matter is, and I'll reset this real quickly for the folks that are just joining us. You basically were going to see one of your favorite DJs at Flux downtown and he needed to accessorize, and he decided that the best place to accessorize, of course, is Target. Nothing says accessories.
Absolutely. Pick up
This is
some
on a budget like Target.
I get the impression that maybe you were heading to Target, like, for some plain wrap beer, and you happened to see sunglasses on the counter.
Coors Party Ball.
I didn't know.
That's not as good of a story for the brand, because you have a really good